Broadcasting live from the studios at WLKL 89.9 The Max Alternative, the sports show that puts you in the know about Lakers athletics. This is Lakers Live with Chet Novak.
Welcome to Lakers Live. I'm your host, Chet Novak. My guest this morning, returning to the studios of WLKL, is the head coach of the Lakeland College Lakers men's team, Cedric Brown. Thanks for rejoining us, Coach Brown.
Good morning.
Okay, sophomore night, a win over at the Field House. That's the last game for 5 sophomores. How do you feel about these young student athletes that are graduating out of the basketball program?
Well, it's always good to know that your student athletes are moving on, but it's always sad because they're moving on. So it's a catch-22 type of situation. Scotty Brown has been with me for 2 years. Hasn't been able to afford a lot of playing time, but he's been a quality young man in our program. Always comes to practice, works hard. Whenever he gets an opportunity to get into the game, he works hard there as well. So he's a very integral part of this Laker basketball program for the last 2 years. And then you have 4 sophomores that all transferred in that played at different 2-year schools last year. Paris Carter is the staple to what we try to do here at Lakeland College. He's a warrior and does all the things that we need to do. He does all the dirty work. He rebounds the basketball. He defends the best post player. He just comes with a workmanlike attitude every single day. That old adage, he brings a hard hat and a lunchbox to each and every contest that he participates in. And then you have Daniel Armah, who's much of the same. He's a blue-collar type young man, hardworking, doesn't look for accolades, doesn't look for, awards or anything like that. He just wants to come and compete and work hard every single day. And then you have Leighton Sieber, who in his own right, he's a special young man in, some of the things that he's dealing with in life. But for him to be able to overcome some of those obstacles and do the things that he's done for us this season is really, really special. And then last but not least, you have Stephon Perry, who is a young man that has really brought a little leadership to our program this year. He's always looking to make his teammates better through encouraging words, through his play on the court. And I'm just very fortunate and blessed to have had an opportunity to work with 5 young men like these. Okay, good. And this game Saturday night, obviously a big win to finish up your GRAC season. They tended to finish strong this time. Is this the type of finish that at that, I don't know, let's call it the critical part of the game down the stretch that you've sometimes lacked during the season? We haven't finished strong in past games. Early on in the season, games probably 1 through 5 or so, we lost 3 or 4 of those games because we didn't finish halves. We didn't finish the first half the way that we should have, and we didn't finish out games the way that we should have. And, we came in kind of lackluster on Saturday evening, but it stemmed from us not being in shoot-around on time. And no one knows this, and I'm going to share this with our Lakeland family, our listeners. That morning, we had a 9 o'clock shoot-around, and I walk into the gym at 10 minutes to 9, and the gym is totally dark. No balls are out, no nothing. Nobody's there. I call my assistant coach, and, hey, what's going on? Why isn't anybody here? Well, no one really had an answer. So as 9 o'clock approaches, everyone is not in the gym. And I call my assistant coach, Dave Earp, who's, very, very close to me, and he's a dear friend, so that I could vent my frustration there. And I just told Dave, I'm going home. So I left. And I don't know if they had shoot around. I don't know if they, talked about the opponent or whatever, but I just felt like, we talk about respect of the game and respect of, the abilities that we're given and how we utilize those things, being thankful and grateful because there's other people that don't have those opportunities. So I left. I went home. And they didn't, and it showed. When we got to the game, we started off slow. We were down 20-8.
I wanted to ask you about that. I thought it was a slow opening. I thought they were flat. Could this be what that might have been the first time out was about, when you took them all the way out across the court?
Oh yeah.
Let us in on that.
Yeah, I try to be very professional at all times. Mm-hmm. With the fans and board members and everything. So when Coach Brown goes out to the middle of the floor, there's probably some things that are being said that just need to stay within the confines of the basketball team. Mm-hmm. And so I don't misrepresent our program or disrespect any of the fans or the family members or anything like that, because the way that we try to run this basketball program and the way that we try to run our athletic programs is very classy and very professional at all times. But every once in a while, you need to kind of reel them in and let them know.
Yeah, because I was wondering if you had gone maybe a little farther across the court. I thought, well, maybe the first row is going to be in on this timeout huddle over here, and you did have quite a few fans in there too.
Right, mm-hmm. Right, and and again, I always, my concern is always not just about the winning and the losing, but how we represent ourselves, and so I just had to pull them into the paint, and I know acoustically that if I go to the middle of the floor in the paint right there, that things can't be heard. So I just pulled them in and I told them, I said, listen, this. You know why we're here. You know why you're on the middle of the floor right now. And to a man, everybody looked at me like, yeah, coach, we know. I said, so, we're going to talk about this right now very quickly, and we're going to get it out of the way. So the timeout was not about how we played. It wasn't about how, what we were doing, what we weren't doing. It was about 9 o'clock that morning, because I always tell the young men that the things that we do off the court always affects the things on the court. Mm-hmm. So it rang through.
Well, I thought that was a good coaching on your part.
Thank you.
I had suspicion that it was about something other than the offense or defense you were running.